Good topic today. Let's look at 5 realistic ways to deal with toxic parents. I've done some past videos, and I'll have the links in the description box below, where I've examined what toxic parents are all about. In today's video, I want to examine some realistic ways to handle these toxic parents. What can you do? This could apply to your mother or father or both. And by realistic ways, I'm talking about things you can implement right away. You don't have to necessarily understand all the underlying dynamics. It's just things that you can do to advocate for yourself starting now. I'm going to count down from 5 to 1, so hold on for number 1 to make sure you're covering all your bases. Number 5, you don't have to reason with them, and don't try to reason with them. The whole point that you can call them toxic is because they have been unreasonable throughout your childhood. You haven't been able to reason with them, to deal with them, to have perhaps open, honest communication with them. They haven't raised you in this way. They raised you in a toxic manner, and so now as an adult, don't try to be reasonable with them. You can't. It's not going to work. It may even dig you in a deeper hole. So don't try to make your point all the time, get into arguments with them. That may lead to name calling. Be realistic with yourself that they're probably not going to see your point of view. That's why they're toxic. And so now as an adult, do not try to reason with them. Simply hold your own and make declarative statements about what you're all about, what you're going to do, and who you are. 4, be very aware of what you say and or share with them. They're toxic, right? So if you're sharing with them issues that you may be having with your boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, or wife, don't do it. They may turn that information around and use it against you somehow. Maybe they shared things about you without your permission when you were growing up. Well, do you think that's going to stop now? No. Without them somehow magically changing their ways, this is just going to repeat and repeat and repeat. You may just be wanting to talk about your life, but they could criticize you about this or gossip about it to other family members or neighbors. So be very careful what you're willing to share and talk about with them, because they could very well use this against you on some level, just like they did in childhood. Number 3, a very realistic thing you can do to deal with them is stop hoping to change them. They're not going to change. They are who they are. So if you're hoping to change them, trying to change them, trying to drop hints, steer them towards therapy, even booking an appointment for them, none of that is going to work. They have to realize this on their own. And the only way they can realize it is by others having strong boundaries around them. This could be family members, neighbors, friends, co-workers, and they begin hopefully to get the picture like, I need to look inward at me. Until they're willing to look inward at themselves, they're not going to be motivated to change in any way, because they don't really think or believe they're doing anything wrong. So when people don't think or believe they're doing anything wrong, then for others to come in somehow and think they're going to change them, have an energy of hoping this is going to happen, then guess who's really suffering here? Not the toxic person. In this case, it's the son or daughter who is bringing this energy of unrealisticness and then being very disappointed over time when they realize nothing has changed at all, nor will it. Number 2, have super strong boundaries with them. Part of being a toxic parent means they probably did not have healthy boundaries with you, raising you throughout your childhood. There could be enmeshment that went on. Perhaps they're narcissists, making it be all about them. They just didn't respect you as an individual as a little kid, and they still don't respect you as an individual, as an adult. Whatever it is, it can come from many sources. Either which way, you need to have strong boundaries with people like this, including your toxic parents. Now, this may be very difficult to do because they're not used to respecting your boundaries. They're used to just mowing you over in whatever way they want. So when all of a sudden here an adult son or daughter is drawing a line in the sand, they may not like that. So be prepared for that, but you have to do it if you want to advocate for yourself. And you have to tolerate the discomfort that goes along with you finding your space in life, who you are, what you're all about, not letting anybody trample on that. This may mean creating both emotional and physical space from them. Remember, you don't owe your parents anything. If anything, they owe you. Once you popped out of your mother's body, they're responsible for you. They're responsible to be healthy guides and mentors. That falls on them. Healthy relationships are built on mutual respect, and if you can't be respected, then you need to back away. Now, this can be just limiting your contact greatly, or in some cases, people need to go no contact. That's up for you to decide. But either which way, if you're not setting healthy boundaries, it's time to start practicing doing that. And number one, stop trying to make them happy or make them proud. You know, children just find that innate need to get approval from their parents, right? It starts at a very early age. We want them to be proud of us. There's nothing wrong with that. It's in our DNA. And that can continue into adulthood where we just want to please them. Can I please just get some love from them? Can I please just get the attention I need? Can I please just prove to myself that yes, somehow they love me? Somewhere through all this toxicity and perhaps even abuse that you've received from them, somehow I need to know, I'm going to prove that they somehow love me for who I am. Which, by the way, you're never going to get that proof. And so someone may keep on trying to people please them, to be extra nice, seeking admiration, seeking some kindness for them. Well, maybe you have parents who are not capable of being kind. Maybe they don't really like you. Maybe they wish you were never really born. There are parents like this, sad to say. So if you have toxic parents that fall into some of these categories, you can't turn yourself into a doormat trying to please or change a parent like this, always hoping that somehow you're going to get them to see your side of the story. That rarely happens. That's why they indeed are toxic. So you can't control them, but you can control yourself, or at least your reactions to them. And one way to control yourself is by stopping to try to please them. So these are 5 realistic tips, things you can do right away in dealing with toxic parents. I hope it's been helpful for some of you out there who indeed are adults dealing with, perhaps even living with toxic parents. This is about reclaiming yourself and setting a path where you can have more self-worth and joy and pride in yourself as you go through the rest of your life. So please leave some comments below. If you struggle with toxic parents in your life, how are you dealing with that? Have you set up healthy boundaries? Please subscribe to my mental health YouTube channel if you like these kind of videos. And until next week, this is Brad Shore signing off from Ask a Shrink.